Welcome, sports fans, to this Table Rock Sports production of St. Mary's High School Volleyball. Broadcasting live from St. Mary's High School in Medford, Oregon. My name is Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me is Joey Brett, and we are right in the middle of set number 2 between the Crusaders and the visiting Henley Hornets. The Hornets took set 1 by a score of 25-11. Joey, what did you see in that first set?
Well, Henley was pretty dominant. They were able to find the spots where St. Mary's was kind of getting a little cluttered.
As there's a terrific spike at the net. Ellie Nias.
St. Mary's getting a little cluttered and not spacing the court very well. Henley was doing a good job of being able to recognize that and just drop a lot of balls where they weren't. And seeing a lot of that here in this second set as well. Good job in the middle, letting their fellow teammates know where to place the ball.
An opportunity for the Hornets, but a botched set by Lily Klein gives the Crusaders the point and possession. 18-15 the score. The Hornets are on top. You see the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. This game is brought to you by our presenting sponsor, U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou and Lithia Autos Superstores. Back to serve for the Crusaders. Grace Johnson puts it in play. Here's an opportunity for the Hornets. Sending it over is Gracie Parker. Saved by Grace Johnson for the Crusaders. A stop, but a net violation called against the Crusaders. Negates a terrific effort by St. Mary's front line of Natalie Thickett and Ashley Gurr. 19-15, Hornets on top. They lead the set score 1-0. Back to serve for the Hornets is Gracie Parker, one of the two captains, one of the two senior captains on this Hornets squad. As there is a botched spike at the net by Kelsey Dunn.
You can tell that she is a senior out there on the court. She's doing a good job of letting her teammates know where to be and where to place the ball and just being a real focal point there.
And a good block at the net, but a violation is called. Point to the Crusaders. Front line for Henley couldn't keep their hands off the nylon, I guess would be the appropriate material. Have to head over to our local sporting goods store and get the exact, what is the exact composition of these volleyball nets. 20-16, Hornets on top here in set number 2. Back to serve for the Crusaders, Natalie Thickett, as there's a botched return by the Hornets. And St. Mary's is within 3. Best of 5 sets. The Hornets took set number 1. And now an opportunity for the Hornets. A strong spike popped up in the air by Thickett. Corralled by Ainsley Dunn, But the Crusaders unable to get the ball over the net. Point and possession to the Hornets. Ainsley and Kelsey Dunn, a couple of returning varsity volleyball players for the Crusaders. Maddie Mills with the initial first touch for St. Mary's. And a terrific diving effort by the Hornets keeps the ball in play. That was Ellie Nias, the terrific save. Now an opportunity for the Crusaders. Kelsey Dunn unable to get it done. Point to the Hornets. Back to serve once again is Ellie Nias, who made that fantastic diving play in the last point. Eventually resulted in Henley's favor. An opportunity for the Crusaders. And palm bop by Thickett, and now a long spike over the back line by Nias. Gives St. Mary's the point and possession. 4-point lead for the Hornets here in set number 2. Henley took set number 1, 25-11. Crusaders putting up a much better fight here in set number 2, but they do not want to fall 2-0. Maddie Mills with the serve. Now an opportunity for the Hornets. Ball tipped, and it falls on the St. Mary's side. Point possession for the Hornets. And a substitution couple of players coming in and out. To serve now for the Hornets is Taylor Chavez. On the floor for Henley alongside Chavez is Ellie Nias, Ashlyn Sherrill, Alyssa Jackson, Cambria Hadwick, and Paige Barnett. And back for the Crusaders, a diving save. Nice effort, but an opportunity for the Hornets as that ball off the forearm of Ainsley Dunn on a strong spike. A buzzer sounded here on Jackson Court. And a violation called on the Hornets. So, take the point away from Henley, give it to St. Mary's. Boy, do they need that in the worst of way. Back to serve for the Crusaders is Ashley Gurr. She's joined by Maddie Mills, Natalie Fickett, Ainsley Dunn, Abby Christman, and Grace Johnson. See there on the left side of your screen. The Crusaders coming together, talk about how they want to handle this next point. 23-18, the Hornets visiting from Henley across the Klamath Basin on top. Here in set number 2. Gurr waits for the signal from the official. Here we go. It's away. An opportunity for the Hornets. Strong spike down. It's good. Ashlyn Sherrill. The strong spike there, and now Henley has set point. Well, this Table Rock Sports broadcast would not be possible without the support of our presenting sponsor, Siskiyou Cellular. Stop into any one of 7 Siskiyou Cellular locations in Southern Oregon for a wide variety of your wireless needs. And there, just like that, the Hornets take set number 2 by a score of 25-19. We'll step away for a quick break. The third set coming up next. Will the Crusaders fight back? Find out here on TableRockSports.net.
I was talking to Bill.
Yeah?
Bill and Sherry got a guy.
They do? How did they get a guy?
Everything happened online, including financing. And their guy even delivered their new car to their home.
Maybe we should get a guy.
I thought you might say that. Honey, meet Kyle.
Find your guy during the Ram Power Days going on now at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford and on lithiasuperstore.com. Not a dealership, a partnership.
Introducing Unlimited with Payback, only from U.S. Cellular. The only unlimited plan that pays you back for data you don't use. So, quit flushing money down the toilet with Verizon. Get Unlimited with Payback, and you can save up to $240 per year on a single line versus Verizon.
For the best deals in wireless on a network that works in the middle of anywhere, visit Siskiyou Cellular, your local U.S. Cellular agent. 7 locations, including Central Point off Plaza Boulevard.
Time machine, not so far away, that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide, where wonder rules the day and families are transformed. From the smallest bug-eyed explorer to that surliest know-it-all. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
If you're a coach or plan to be a coach, what kind of coach do you want to be? This?
Hey! What is that? Come on, God! You're killing me!
Or this?
I love it. I love what I see. I don't care about the mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. Guys making millions of dollars on Sunday, they make mistakes.
Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.org.
Welcome back, sports fans. You're watching St. Mary's Volleyball on TableRockSports.net. We're in the third and potentially final set of this best-of-5 matchup between the Crusaders and the visiting Henley Hornets. The Hornets took set number 1, 25-11, and just took set 2, 25-19. We'll see if the Crusaders have what it takes to get back into this match and avoid dropping their third straight. Broadcasting live from St. Mary's High School, my name is Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me, the one and only Joey Brett, bringing you all the action down on Jackson Court. This broadcast would not be possible without the support of our presenting sponsor, Lithia Superstore, on Crater Lake Highway, and their general manager, Jason Lawrence. Browse online at lithiasuperstore.com and then come in and work with their outstanding staff. Say hi and thank you to Jason Lawrence if you get a chance. Thank you to our title sponsor, Lithia Superstores. Back to serve for the Crusaders on the left side of your screen is sophomore Maddie Mills. And here come the Henley Hornets on the response. Met at the net, but it falls on the St. Mary's sideline. Another point won by senior captain Ashlyn Sherrill of the Henley Hornets. They take the first point here in set number 3. So, Joey, how has Henley jumped out to this early 2-0 lead?
They're doing a good job of communicating with each other and having some really good court presence. St. Mary's, a lot of those points you're seeing them lose there at the net. You know, at least I'm noticing they're getting pushed back a little bit, and a lot of those balls are just dropping back down onto their side instead of getting right up on that net, getting the hands high, trying to get that block and have it drop on the other side of the net. They just tighten it up a little bit, and I think you'll see them right in the end of this set, competing, trying to keep things alive and push it to a 4.
A picture-perfect serve. Or was it? No, falls just wide, just past the back line. Our OSAA officials have a much better view of the action than we do up in the stands. 3-1 in favor of the Henley Hornets here in set number 3. They just do get it over, and now an opportunity for the Crusaders. Maddie Mills didn't get a good set, and now Henley bop it over. That was Ashlyn Sherrill for the Hornets. And now Henley will have another opportunity. This time Gracie Parker met at the net. A good stop by the Crusaders, but the Hornets recover. Off the net, a diving save by Natalie Thickett, and play continues. And it's the Crusaders who come away victorious. What terrific effort by Thickett. And St. Mary's, they get the point and possession. Score is 3-2 in favor of Henley. Back to serve for St. Mary's, Ashley Gurr, who promptly sends one into the nylon. Point and possession back to the Hornets, and back to serve for Henley, senior captain Ashlyn Sherrill. And Ashlyn is not on the volleyball court. Spends her time at the rodeo doing some barrel racing. An equestrian fan. Long first touch up in the air, and somehow St. Mary's able to recover. And now an opportunity for the Crusaders, but a mental mistake on what should have been a set shot at the net instead results in a Henley point.
They're right there. St. Mary's has got to do a good job of communicating with each other. Be loud and holler and know your spot. Get there and be heads up.
Thickett pops one outside the line, excuse me. You're playing volleyball on a basketball court with these different grid lines. Hard to tell which line the ball lands on. At the point to the Hornets. Strong shot by Thickett, but controlled by the Hornets. And now an opportunity for the Crusaders. Here's Thickett again. A block at the net, unsuccessful by Henley. Point and possession to the Crusaders. This broadcast would not be possible without the support of the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Dr. James Savage and Rajiv Rajagopal are happy to welcome Dr. Brian Clevenger to the Associates for Oral and Maxillofacial Surgery. Thickett with the serve for the Crusaders. Here come the Hornets. Short tap, did it get a save? They do. Great effort by Maddie Mills to the Crusaders. Another opportunity for the Hornets. Bit of a miscommunication and a point awarded to St. Mary's. I'll say Henley had a improper hit of the ball, an open palm on that third touch. An automatic violation and point to the Crusaders. The serve by Thickett sent up into the air by Alyssa Jackson. A strong spike by Taylor Chavez, controlled by the Crusaders. Soft touch by Chrisman into no man's land, and it falls for a point for the Crusaders. 3 consecutive points, won by Thicket. She is back to serve for St. Mary's. Bad first touch by the Hornets, and St. Mary's has tied this game up. 6 apiece. Terrific crowd on hand supporting the hometown Crusaders as that one hits the very back of the line. The Henley sideline not agreeing with the call. Another point won by Thicket and St. Mary's. Here we go again. And a couple of weak sets is going to give the Crusaders an opportunity here. A soft touch by Christman, snuffed out by Henley, and on the back line, a spike by Ashlyn Sherrill. Ties this game up and gives Henley possession. Well, this broadcast would not be possible without the support of Bill's Glass, locally owned and family run in Ashland. Medford and Grants Pass. When you hear that crash,
Think Bill's Glass.
think Bill's Glass. 7 apiece. Back to serve for the Hornets. That's Paige Barnett. There's an opportunity for Thicket. Met at the net. A good block by the Crusaders. And then tipped by Henley. It falls on their sideline. St. Mary's with a strong showing here in set number 3 with their backs against the wall. And now back to serve for the Crusaders is Abby Christman. Christman up with it. Weak first touch. Let's see if the Hornets can recover. They do get it over. An opportunity for the Hornets, but double touch on the set shot results in a Henley possession and a point. So all tied at 8 apiece here in set number 3. The Hornets took the first 2 sets in this best of 5. Back to serve is Gracie Parker, the other senior captain on this Hornets squad alongside Ashlyn Sherrill. A great diving save by Ashley Gurr, but to no avail. Another double touch called on St. Mary's as Henley retakes the lead. Score is 9-8 on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Once again, Gracie Parker back to serve for the Hornets. Opportunity no for the Crusaders. And right now, having difficulty getting out of their own way. Parker again, back to serve. And here's the opportunity for the Crusaders. A strong spike by Kelsey Dunn, saved by the Hornets. Looping ball up in the air by Ellie Nias. And now here's Natalie Thicket with a strong shot, too strong over the back line. 3 straight points won by the Hornets. And if you're St. Mary's, you cannot afford to let Henley extend this lead much more as we enter into the second half of this 3rd set. The Hornets already up 2 sets to 0. Here are the Crusaders, their first shot. Strong one, and it falls on the Henley sideline. Abby Crispin with a strong spike for St. Mary's gives them point and possession. Score is 11-9 in favor of the Hornets as Gracie Parker checks out for Henley. And there's that student section making their presence felt here inside Jackson Court at St. Mary's High School. Back to serve for the Crusaders, Grace Johnson, 5'8" senior. Officials blow the whistle and play is underway. Straight into the nylon. Point and possession to the Hornets. Checking into the game for Henley is Ashlyn Sherrill. Always one of those 2 senior captains on the floor at all times for Brian Palmer, the head coach of the Hornets. Serve sent in by Ellie Nias for Henley. And just a bop over by Ashley Gurr. A diving stop by Ellie Nias. Tip at the net. It falls on the Henley side. Point earned by Kelsey Dunn for the Crusaders. They're into double digits, keeping pace with the Henley Hornets. Back to serve for St. Mary's is Jessie Traynor, 5'7" sophomore. It's up. And a miscommunication on the Henley side gives St. Mary's the point. They are within one. Set number 3 in a best-of-5 series between the Hornets and the Crusaders. Trainer sends it over as Henley unable to return the ball. And a timeout called by Brian Palmer and the Henley Hornets. We're going to keep things right here. Thank you for joining us here on TableRockSports.net. After the game, stop in at Arby's at 41 East Stewart Avenue in Medford, where they have the meats, and they mean it. Arby's at Stewart and Riverside, before or after the game. This broadcast would also not be possible without the support of U.S. Cellular. U.S. Cellular is celebrating 30 years of providing wireless service in Medford by throwing a free concert featuring Grammy Award-winning artist Macklemore. If you want tickets, U.S. Cellular will be distributing 3,500 tickets on Saturday, September 14th, this Saturday at 7 participating U.S. Cellular locations starting at 10 a.m.
I hear you want to get there about 8 a.m.
Yeah, no kidding. That's certainly when I'll be lining up.
Little insider information.
Get there early for free tickets to Macklemore. It's all part of U.S. Cellular Celebrates. You can find out more information at uscellularcelebrates.com. Let's see who will celebrate this next point. It's the Crusaders. A Maddie Thicket spike falls on the Henley sideline. They retake the lead. Tickets will be given out at a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. 2 general admission tickets per person, must be 16 years or older. Strong serve on the sideline by Jesse Trainer for the Crusaders. Maddie Mills with the initial first touch for St. Mary's. And a net violation called on Henley. St. Mary's with a 2-point lead. Here in set number 3, their backs against the wall, having dropped the first 2 sets, 25-11 and then 25-19. Trainer back to serve again. First touch by Cambria Hadwick, a diving attempt by Ellie Nias, but it lands into the crowd, and St. Mary's has their largest lead tonight. 15-12 the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. Back is Trainer. First touch by Paige Barnett for the Hornets. Spike by Ellie Nias off the hands of Maddie Mills and into the back court. Henley able to stop the bleeding. They get the point and possession. They're back within 2. And now back to serve for the Hornets is Alyssa Jackson. Jackson's up with it. First touch by Thicket, and no one's there on the receiving end for St. Mary's. Hornets are within 1. Jackson with the serve. To her knees goes Maddie Mills, a strong spike, but an errant one by Ashlyn Sherrill. Missed wide near sideline. St. Mary's back on top by 2. First to 25, have to win by 2. Back now is Maddie Mills, a sophomore. Terrific effort by Paige Barnett to keep it in play. And a wise decision by Maddie Mills, channeling her inner Neo from the Matrix, getting out of the way of that volleyball. And boy, it just did fall past the back line. 17-14 in favor of the Crusaders. Mills sends it over. Here's the return by the Hornets. Carly Moore sends it down. Moore digs it out. Thicket with the touch. Popped up by Cambria Hadwick. She sends it back over. Here's Thicket again. Into the back near corner. Perfectly placed by the St. Mary's senior. Lead is up to 4 for the Crusaders. Mills back again to serve. Up with it. A strong serve. Kept in play by Alyssa Jackson for Henley. Sent over by Paige Barnett. First touch by Mills. Here's Thicket. Strong spike off the forearm of Henley. Largest lead continues to balloon for the Hornets. The score is 19-14, and another timeout called by Brian Palmer. We're going to step away for a quick break. You're watching St. Mary's Volleyball on TableRockSports.net.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Hello, I'm Ian McDonald, Medford Police Department School Resource Officer for Hedrick Middle School, as well as Lone Pine, Hoover, and Roosevelt Elementaries. Resource officers provide a consistent...
Sorry, Ian McDonald, have to cut you short because action has returned to Jackson Court. 19-14 the score. St. Mary's on top of the visiting Henley Hornets here in set number 3. Met at the net. That was Abby Crispin. May have gotten away with a net violation. Play still alive, and then a botched set over by Jesse Traynor gives Henley point and possession. St. Mary's with their backs against the wall. They dropped the first 2 sets of this match, trying to extend the game. Score is 19-15. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard at the bottom of your screen. Thank you all so much for joining us here on TableRockSports.net. Taylor Chavez back to serve, a line drive for the Hornets, and a beautiful touch at the net. I believe that was the senior captain, Gracie Parker. Yes, it was. Oftentimes, it's not how hard you hit it, but where you hit it. Chavez, another line drive serve. The Crusaders with the return. Maddie Mills sends it deep. A nice stop by Chavez in the backcourt. A strong spike. Well too strong. That was Ashlyn Sherrill. A little overzealous. St. Mary's is into the 20s. Back to serve. Ashley Gurr. Going to be a long set over. Clips the net. Gurr able to recover for the Crusaders. Thicket sends it back, and now Henley has an opportunity. Gracie Parker with the spike, controlled by Gurr. Mills sends it high up into the air. Jesse Traynor with a miss hit. And that will give Henley point and possession. Back to serve for the Hornets, senior captain Ashlyn Sherrill. She's up with it. Jess gets it over the net. A diving stop by Thicket. And now Henley going to have to scramble to recover. They do. Set shot by Grace Johnson. Gives it up to Abby Crispin. A soft set over. And now Henley with a return. Into the net. Taylor Chavez unable to get enough on that one. Score now 21-17 in favor of the Crusaders. And this is the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week. Our presenting sponsor, Lithia Auto Superstores. Natalie Thicket back to serve for the Crusaders. Earlier in this set, she rattled off 4 consecutive points. This time sends one into the polyester.
Yes, polyester net.
Did some research in between the sets. Now back to serve for the Hornets. Paige Barnett, the senior. Up with it. Maddie Mills with the initial touch for the Crusaders. Ainsley Dunn, a soft toss, and scooping it up off of the hardwood. Taylor Chavez for the Hornets. And she is rewarded with that terrific effort as Ainsley Dunn mistimes her spike jump. Henley within 2. Barnett back to serve. Dunn sends it up. Next touch by Gurr, sent over by Thicket. First touch by Cambria Hadwick for the Hornets. Here's Gracie Parker, a strong shot off the forearm of Natalie Thicket. Henley within 1. And a timeout called by St. Mary's head coach Katie Miller. We'll keep things right here. Down on Jackson Court at St. Mary's High School, you're watching Table Rock Sports live broadcast of St. Mary's Volleyball. Get your crunch on with crispy, crunchy chicken. It's available at My Circle K. That's a game winner right there. Find them, follow them, kick back with them at mycirclek.com. Play set to resume. You're watching the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week on TableRockSports.net, powered by U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou and powered by My Circle K, Bill's Glass, and Sherm's Food for Less. 21-20, St. Mary's on top here in game number 3. The Hornets took the first 2 sets of this best-of-5 match. Back to serve for the Hornets and getting it down, Paige Barnett. Bit of a sinking action that the Crusaders were not ready for, and we are all tied at 21. St. Mary's fan section making their presence felt, trying to cheer these Crusaders on to a 4th set. Thicket sends it over. Easy to handle for the Hornets. Gracie Parker, soft touch, right where no one was standing, and Henley retakes the lead. Barnett still back to serve for the Hornets. It's up. And another low line drive that St. Mary's is not ready for. Henley within 2 points of taking the match. St. Mary's has played better in each subsequent set. They dropped set 1, 25-11, put up a good fight in set 2, but dropped it 25-19. Now here we are, the score is 23-21. St. Mary's unable to handle that serve by Paige Barnett. They're going to have to do something as they are 1 point away. Another timeout called by Katie Miller. We will keep things right here. It's time for you former high school athletes to get back in the game. Please consider becoming an OSAA official. There is a serious shortage statewide in all sports at all levels. Remember the people that called your games in high school. Now it's your turn. Visit www.newofficials.org to learn how you can get back in the game. St. Mary's is going to have to deal with Paige Barnett and her serve if they want to get back in this game, get back in this match. It is match point for the Hornets. Barnett back to serve for Henley. It's up. Here are the Crusaders. Natalie Thicket sends it over. Controlled by Henley. Gracie Parker sends it in. Controlled by the Crusaders. Jessie Traynor. Soft touch and it falls on the Henley side. Point and possession to St. Mary's. Of course, at the high school level here at Oregon, each team can earn points regardless of who's serving. So, still match point for the Hornets. Right now it all falls on Abby Christman. A lot of arc on it. She gets it over. Henley have to try and send it over. They can't. St. Mary's is within 1. Well, if you're the Crusaders, you win this point, and now you've bought yourself a couple extra possessions. You have to win by 2. But still, match point for the Hornets. First touch by Paige Barnett for Henley. And it's going to be sent over by Gracie Parker. And near double touch by the Crusaders. It's sent back by Ashley Gurr. An opportunity for Henley. Strong spike, and it's wide! St. Mary's has tied this game up at 24. Still work to be done if you are the Crusaders. Got to win 2 more. Crispin with it, digging it out. Cambria Hadwick. And sent up and over the back line by Hornets. St. Mary's now with set point. Trying to extend this game and extend this match to at least a 4th set. A weak first touch. Henley, can they save it? They cannot! And the Crusaders live to fight another game. We're going to step away for a quick break. The 4th set coming up next here on TableRockSports.net.
At My Circle K, we believe in keeping the integrity of your vehicle's paint. That's why you save 10 cents a gallon when you purchase a car wash. As rain falls, it collects pollutants and contaminants from the air. You want to do anything you can to protect your investments. At My Circle K, you can protect your paint and save at the pump. Now with every car wash purchase, you'll save 10 cents a gallon at the pumps. Find them, follow them, kick back with them. MyCircleK.com.
Hello, I'm Lennox Scott, Chairman and CEO of John O. Scott Real Estate. In 1931, my grandfather started John O. Scott Real Estate. I would like to take a moment to thank you for your trust in allowing us to serve your real estate needs. Helping you realize your home ownership dreams is why we do what we do. But one thing is clear, it takes place one client at a time, each individual buyer or seller, because at the end of the day, it comes down to you. The past few years have been an incredible time of growth for us. We now have over 110 offices and more than 3,000 broker associates in the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and California. But our higher purpose is living life as a contribution.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
And we're back. St. Mary's doing a good job of rallying there in the third set to force a fourth set here with Henley.
As Maddie Mills able to just squeak one over, and the Crusaders with all the momentum right now. Won the last set in heart-pounding fashion, 26-24, after dropping the first two sets to these visiting Henley Hornets. Keep this game alive, but what a strong spike. As
I think that went off her foot.
That's what I was thinking too. I mean, the Crusaders were certainly celebrating like that was a miraculous dig, but I don't think you can use your feet in volleyball, at least not to my understanding of the rules. Point belongs to Henley. A terrific diving save by Maddie Mills, but an opportunity for the Hornets to respond. Good first touch by Jesse Traynor, but a double hit called on the Crusaders. Henley has tied this game up 2 apiece. Thank you all so much for joining us here on Table Rock Sports. My name is Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me, Joey Brett, bringing you all the action from St. Mary's High School. Opportunity for the Hornets. It's the senior, Gracie Parker. Soft tap over, handled by the Crusaders. Another opportunity, a fake set, sent over, and now here's Natalie Thickett, met at the net, and point awarded to the Crusaders. The Hornets took set number 1, 25-11, and then set number 2, 25-19. In that third set, the Crusaders bear down, gutted out the win, 26-24, and that's why we are playing here in set number 4. Soft touch, diving effort by Thicket, but to no avail. Point and possession back to the Henley Hornets. And so, Joey, what did you see in that third set? And really what we've seen all game long is that the Crusaders have gotten better as this game has gone along. But what did you see, especially in that last set, that allowed St. Mary's to extend this game?
Just a good job of getting that floor spaced a little more. And I think they started off the game there with a couple of the net penalties and kind of cost them on a few blocks that they were able to get. And I think they kind of backed off a little bit, and then as they played on a little more, they got a little bit more aggressive at the net and started picking up those blocks that I was mentioning earlier. They weren't really going after.
Terrific efforts by Maddie Mills and Jesse Traynor for the Crusaders. Here's an opportunity now for the Henley Hornets. And there it is, spike by Ellie Nias for Henley. Gives them the point.
Just doing a good job of getting really aggressive there in that last set to force the fourth set. Started out this fourth set really aggressive as well, and just gotta keep plugging and getting better and better and communicate more and more with your team. And it's still early in the season, so they're still trying to figure out a lot of different things and how to mesh well as a team. And
a diving dig by Ashley Gurr, but the effort is in vain as the ball lands on St. Mary's side. Henley opens up a 6-3 lead here in set number 4. The Hornets leading the set score 2-1 in this best of 5. Back on the serve is Paige Barnett, and again that low sinking line drive serve continues to give St. Mary's trouble. The Crusaders nearly lost that third set courtesy of Paige Barnett, who rattled off 5 or 6 straight points from behind the back line. Nice block at the net by Henley. Well located ball, but tracked down by Barnett for the Hornets. And then the return too long for Henley. Point and possession to the Crusaders. Thank you all so much for joining us here on TableRockSports.net. This is the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week. St. Mary's Crusaders and the Henley Hornets. And in between, first touch by Henley. And the Crusaders are within 2. Natalie Thicket back to serve. And first return popped up into the air by Ashley Gurr. That ball was in the air a long time. Sent back over by Abby Christman. Here's an opportunity for Henley. And a strong spike by Gracie Parker off the hands of St. Mary's Maddie Mills. Point and possession to the Henley Hornets. Southern Oregon is a hotbed for local sports at the youth, high school, college, and even Olympic levels. Stay in touch with all sports in Southern Oregon at southernoregonsports.com. On the return, fisted over by St. Mary's. Soft touch into no man's land by Ellie Nias. And St. Mary's unable to recover. 9-5 now the score on the John L. Scott scoreboard. This game kicking off our coverage of St. Mary's volleyball here on TableRockSports.net, where we bring you the best of high school action all around the state of Oregon. Strong spike met at the net. Natalie Thicket for St. Mary's, and the ball elected to fall inbounds, and a timeout called by the Crusaders. Stick around. We'll be right back after this quick break.
Crusader fans, check out a couple of special dates ahead this winter. January 30th at 6:30 p.m., all are welcome for open house. You'll have a chance to tour the incredible new facilities on campus and have an opportunity to talk with school officials. St. Mary's schools offer many opportunities and activities to help your student learn in advance. Open house Wednesday, January 30th at 6:30 p.m. at the Carrico Center, 816 Black Oak. February 14th, grandparents and special mentors are honored. Coffee and tours at 10:30, then lunch in the new food service center at 12:30. If you're interested, please RSVP Linda Powell at lpowell@smschool.us.
Welcome back. Apologies for the break in the action. We are back live from St. Mary's High School in beautiful Medford, Oregon. Set number 4 in a best-of-5 series between the St. Mary's Crusaders, who are playing right now on the right side of your screen, against the visiting Henley Hornets. The Hornets on top 12-7 in this set and lead the set series 2-1. Strong spike by Jesse Traynor, controlled by the Hornets. Palmed over by Henley. Here's an opportunity for Traynor. A diving dig by Paige Barnett sails wide. And St. Mary's comes away with the point. The Crusaders have played better and better as this game has gone on. Set. And a spike. Somehow Maddie Mills, boy, she somehow got that first return, but no one on the receiving end for St. Mary's. Henley takes the point and the possession. Score is 13-8. St. Mary's has played better and better volleyball as this match has gone along. They dropped set number 1 to the Hornets, 25-11. Had a stronger showing in set 2, dropped that one 25-19. Kept this game going with a 26-24 victory in set number 3. There's a lot of action at the net, and the point is won by the Henley Hornets. Ainsley Dunn will check back into the game for the Crusaders. She replaces Jesse Traynor. Back to serve for the Hornets, Alyssa Jackson. Maddie Mills, the first to touch it for St. Mary's. Ainsley Dunn, perfectly placed ball on the back near side corner. Score is 14-9 in favor of Henley. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. We here at TableRockSports.net bring you action of all kinds of high school sports from all over the Oregon area. Up with it. That was Ellie Naya sending it over for Henley. Short touch at the net, and the Hornets unable to recover. Natalie Thickett wins the point for the Crusaders. The score is 14-10. Jesse Traynor back to serve for the Crusaders. 2-1 lead for the Hornets. There's a fake set sent over by Paige Barnett. A strong spike by Thickett and a diving dig for Henley's Ellie Nias. Ball sent back, perfectly placed on the back line by the Henley Hornets. They take the point and possession. A couple of substitutions coming in for Henley. Back to serve is Taylor Chavez. Chavez up with it. Low line drive. First touch by Thickett. Bopped over by Ashley Gurr and just out of reach of a diving Ellie Nias for the Henley Hornets. Terrific effort, but in vain. Point and possession belongs to the Crusaders. Back to serve, the star sophomore Maddie Mills. Mills getting some traction before going up with the serve. And maybe a bit too much traction as she sends it into the net. Point and possession back to the Hornets. Score is 16-11. You see on the John L. Scott scoreboard as Ashlyn Sherrill back to serve for Henley. The Hornets with a 2-1 lead. Back-to-back botched serves. Point and possession right back to St. Mary's. Now back to serve for the Crusaders. Ashley Gurr, 5'8" senior. She's able to get it over the polyester. A strong spike. Perfectly placed in the back far corner by Gracie Parker, the senior captain for the Hornets. Showing why she deserves to be named captain by the head coach Brian Palmer. Paige Barnett back to serve for the Hornets. Low line drive serve has given the St. Mary's Crusaders fits all game long. Maddie Mills able to dig it out. And now sending it back over, Abby Christman. Opportunity for the Hornets. And too strong, Ellie Nias on the spike. Gives St. Mary's the point and possession. Score is 17-13. 2-1 lead in favor of the visiting Henley Hornets. Back to serve. Natalie Thickett for the Crusaders. Ball sent over by Ellie Nias. First touched by Grace Johnson for St. Mary's. Here's Thickett. She gets it over. Nias the first touch. Gracie Parker. Soft tap over that Thickett's able to control. And a violation. Double touch called on the Crusaders. We've seen that a lot this game. Score now 18-13. If you're St. Mary's, Joey, you've got to make your stand here. You cannot fall late in this set with your opponent Henley up 2-1. First initial terrific effort by Maddie Mills, but in vain as the spike sent by St. Mary's sails past the back line. Timeout called by St. Mary's head coach Katie Miller. Will keep things right here. U.S. Cellular is celebrating 30 years of providing wireless service in Medford by throwing a free concert featuring Grammy Award-winning artist Macklemore. If you want tickets, U.S. Cellular will be distributing 3,500 tickets this Saturday, September 14th, across 7 participating locations starting at 10 a.m. So head on over to uscellularcelebrates.com for store locations and details. Tickets will be given out on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. 2 general admission tickets per person, must be 16 years or older. 19-13 the score you see on the John L. Scott scoreboard. The Henley Hornets up 2-1. Looking to put the final nail into the St. Mary's coffin. Gracie Parker back to serve. Maddie Mills the first touch for the Crusaders. A good set and a fist bump over by Ainsley Dunn. An opportunity for the Hornets. Ellie Nias met at the net. Good stop by the Crusaders. Another opportunity, this time Gracie Parker. Has it controlled by Maddie Mills. Natalie Thickett has the ball clip the net, but it gets over to the Henley side. Ashlyn Sherrill gets it over, dug out by Natalie Thickett. Sent back over by Ainsley Dunn. First touch by Paige Barnett. Here's Carly Moore. Now an opportunity for the Crusaders. No. Double touch called by our officiating crew, Henley. Into the 20s. Largest lead of the game for the Hornets. Opportunity for Christman, and she gets it done, putting the ball in no man's land. St. Mary's able to stop the bleeding. They get the point and possession. Back to serve, Abby Christman. The return by Henley. Carly Moore sends it far past the line. Point to St. Mary's. Crusaders going to have to make a stand here. Down by 5. Serve dug out by Paige Barnett. Here's an opportunity for the Crusaders. Ainsley Dunn sends it too far. Point and possession to the Henley Hornets. And every point that Henley wins right now, Joey, is so big. You're up by 6. Only got 4 points to win this match. You never want to be down to your opponent by a larger deficit than they have to go to win the set, or in this case, the match. A couple of awkward touches, but ball remains in play. An opportunity for the Hornets. Ellie Nias has the ball dug out by Natalie Thickett. Here's Maddie Mills sending it over. First touch by Paige Barnett. Sent up by Ellie Nias and sent over by Cambria Hadwick. A diving stop by Maddie Mills, but no one on the receiving end. And Henley closing in. Score now 22-15. Back to serve for Henley is Ellie Nias. Junior gets it over. Mills the first touch for the Crusaders. It'll be Thickett to send it over. First touch by Cambria Hambrick. Strong spike and a net violation called on Ashlyn Sherrill. Point awarded to St. Mary's. They're still alive, but are going to have to string together a couple of points here. Grace Johnson with the serve. It clips the net, but dug out by Henley. Another ball that clips the net. This time Kelsey Dunn able to squeak it across for the Crusaders. The ball falls on the Henley side, and St. Mary's is within 5. Back once again is Johnson. And up with it is Ellie Nias. Over to Carly Moore. She sends it up. That ball may have landed out of bounds, but it's controlled by Maddie Mills and sent over and down by Natalie Thickett. Point awarded to the Crusaders. They are within 4. We saw something similar in the last set. The Henley Hornets had a late lead, looking like they may take it in 3, but the Crusaders fought hard and eventually won 26-24. There's some terrific play on the front lines by Kelsey Dunn and Ashley Gurr for the Crusaders. It's now just a 3-point lead. The student section getting into it. Here's Grace Johnson back to serve. And here's the return for Henley. Oh, an inaccurate set, misjudged by Ashlyn Sherrill. St. Mary's with all the momentum right now. They're within 2. Timeout called by the Hornets. We're going to keep things right here on TableRockSports.net. Thank you all so much for joining us. My name is Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me is Joey Brett, bringing you all of the action here from St. Mary's High School. Joey, thought we might see a 3 and out.
So we thought.
But St. Mary's, boy, have they responded in a big way.
They're doing a good job of hanging in there and just battling, not giving up, and they're just chucking along, not giving up too much of a lead, always sticking right there, able to string together a few points, bring it close. Henley's kind of pulled away each time they've done that, but you've seen it the end of the last 2 sets. St. Mary's has come on strong as they're doing again here. Just need 5 more and hopefully be able to force another set.
Deciding 5th set. Still a lot of work to do before we get there. A nice dig out by Ellie Nias and terrific net play once again by Kelsey Dunn. St. Mary's within 1. And now the Crusaders are having fun. Johnson back. Oh, and it was finally Lily Klein who decided to get it for the Henley Hornets. Nobody wanted it. Ball punched over and a terrific location. That's on Ainsley Dunn. St. Mary's has tied this game up. Terrific diving effort by Ashlyn Sherrill.
Now who wants it more?
Absolutely. And right now, it's the Crusaders with all the momentum. We're tied at 22. Johnson still back for the serve. Opportunity for Sherrill. She puts it down. A terrific dig out by Maddie Mills. Another opportunity. This time, Carly Moore sends it over. An opportunity for the Crusaders. Strong spike and an even better dig. What a job by Ellie Nias. But the second chance not there, and the St. Mary's Crusaders take the lead late once again. A heck of an effort by Ellie Nias earlier in that point. Like a soccer goalie, you just react without thinking.
Both sides doing a good job right there on that rally back and forth.
This Crusader student section.
seen both sides with a couple of really good digs, and right now you're just seeing both teams leaving it all out there, and that's always a good thing to see.
Johnson back once again. She has spearheaded this rally for the Crusaders. Henley's Kendall Hadwick sends it back, controlled by the Crusaders. Pickett sends it over. An opportunity for Klein. She sends it down, and this time able to beat the defense of Kelsey Dunn to tie this game up at 23, and finally end the skid. That was 7 straight points won by Grace Johnson and the Crusaders. We're all tied at 23. The Henley Hornets with a 2-1 lead.
That's exactly how they finished out the last set, opening into this set. They took 5 straight, took the win,
and the serve.
And 2 more points to open up. They're 7-7.
The serve by Alyssa Jackson, unable to be handled by Maddie Mills, and now this is match point for the Hornets. Strong spike, but it lands out of bounds. Ainsley Dunn able to beat the front court defense of the Hornets, and we are tied once again at 24 for the second consecutive set. Back to serve for the Crusaders is Jessie Traynor. It's up with it. Response for Henley. Lily Klein. Correction, that was Carly Moore rather, sending it over. Now and then a weak touch by Kelsey Dunn of the St. Mary's Crusaders, and match point back once again with the Henley Hornets. Taylor Chavez going to sub into the game for this serve. 25-24. Match point for the Henley Hornets. Chavez up with it. Line drive. Controlled by Grace Johnson. Up into the air for Kelsey Dunn, She gets it over. Ashlyn Sherrill has to wait for it. A diving stop isn't there. And the Henley Hornets take set 4 and the match by a final score of 3-1. What a fantastic match this turned out to be. The Crusaders battled so hard late in the match, but the Henley Hornets jumped out to the early 2-0 lead. They win the 4th and final set 26-24. Stick around for the My Circle K post-game show. Coming up next, we'll recap the scoring, look at the key stats, select our Southern Oregon Sports Commission player of the game, and check the John L. Scott scoreboard. All during the My Circle K post-game show coming up next here on Table Rock Sports. Once again, the Henley Hornets defeating the St. Mary's Crusaders 26-24 in 4 sets. Stick around. The My Circle K post-game show is coming up next, right after this.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind, or discovering a place that feeds your hunger, where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore? So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
For several weeks, the Southern Oregon Sports Commission has shown you examples of good sportsmanship and bad sportsmanship. Here's why. 75% of youth athletes quit sports by the age of 13 because they're not having fun. 75% of rookie referees also quit each year. Why? Well, it's because of the way they're treated by coaches and parents. We can do better. We must do better. Know your role. Learn more at southernoregonsports.com.
Welcome, sports fans, to the My Circle K post-game show. Your locally owned Chevron stations powered by Colvin Oil, who sponsored the Fuel Your School program in October. Your support has raised over $300,000 in the past 4 years. For more information, visit mycirclek.com. Well, if you're just joining us, you missed a heck of a finish between the St. Mary's Crusaders and the visiting Henley Hornets here on TableRockSports.net. My name is Jonathan Kerman. Alongside me, Joey Brett, bringing you all the action. And it was the Henley Hornets who come out victorious. They defeat the Crusaders by a set score of 3-1. As the Henley Hornets jumped out to an early 2-0 lead, Joey. Took set 1, 25-11, set 2, 25-19, and then jumped out late in set number 3. It looks like trouble for the Crusaders in that third set, but they rallied back, eventually took that third set 26-24. And then in set number 4, went down to the wire once again, but this time the Hornets coming out on top. What were your takeaways from this game?
Well, it was good to see St. Mary's not just fold.
Absolutely.
Sometimes you can get down the way that they were being beat, and you can just kind of, you lose your steam, you lose your energy, and you don't have much in you to rally back. And you know, you're down 2, you got to win 3 sets in a row. That's not an easy feat by any means. So just good to see St. Mary's battling the entire time, almost forcing that pivotal 5th set.
That would have been something.
They were right there, and that would have been, you know, like you said, that would have been great to see after going down 2-0. But just a good job of battling and sticking with it all the way there to the end, and not giving up. And who's that? Thicket.
Yes, Natalie Thicket.
Natalie Thicket for St. Mary's. Good job to her, kind of rallying her team a little bit. I seen out there her kind of gathering the girls, getting them a little bit more focused and understanding what they had to do to move forward. So a lot of good things to build on after going down 2-0, and you can only go forward from there.
You're absolutely right, Joey. Yeah, a lot of positive takeaways. Team battled back. The St. Mary's Crusaders battled back down 2-0 and played just much better volleyball in the later sets. A lot of positive things to build on. Our Southern Oregon Sports Commission player of the game tonight going to have to go with the winning team, and their senior captain, Ashlyn Sherrill, leading the charge for the Henley Hornets. She is our Southern Oregon Sports Commission player of the game tonight. Travel Medford and the Southern Oregon Sports Commission are working to help fans know their role. Learn more at travelmedford.com/Southern Oregon Sports Commission. We thank you for watching today's broadcast. Be sure to download the free TableRockSports.net app and watch a replay of this game for free on your mobile device. We'd like to thank the St. Mary's High School for hosting the Lithia Superstore Game of the Week on TableRockSports.net. A special thanks to the head coaches Katie Miller for St. Mary's and Brian Palmer for the Henley Hornets. Our next Table Rock Sports production will be Friday Night Football, which you can catch on News 10 Friday night at 11:10 for Friday Night Football with Joe Brett, Brian Schnee, and Demi DeSoto. Well, you will see highlights from all of our Table Rock Sports teams on Channel 10. Also watch for teams live on set each week on Friday Night Football. Joey, you and I will be up in Grants Pass, the home debut for the Cavemen. You can catch that game and all of the games that Table Rock Sports are covering from all over Oregon right here on TableRockSports.net. We hope you enjoyed this free broadcast made possible by our sponsor support, Lithia Auto Superstores on Crater Lake Highway and their general manager, Jason Lawrence, and U.S. Cellular at Siskiyou, celebrating 30 years of providing wireless service in Medford, throwing a free concert featuring Grammy Award-winning artist Macklemore. If you want tickets, U.S. Cellular will be distributing 3,500 tickets this Saturday, September 14th at 7 participating U.S. Cellular locations starting at 10 a.m. Head on over to uscellularcelebrates.com for store locations and details. Isn't that fun to say? U.S. Cellular celebrates. Tickets will be given on a first-come, first-served basis while supplies last. 2 general admission tickets per person, must be 16 years or older. Once again, the Henley Hornets defeat the St. Mary's Crusaders in heart-pounding fashion, 3-1. For Joey Brett, I'm Jonathan Kerman saying good night from St. Mary's High School. This has been another free production of TableRockSports.net. We'll catch you next time, sports fans.